Hey everybody, so today I've got a few chargers in front of us, and it's one in particular that I want to talk about, and it's the Duratrax Onyx 260. However, I've got a couple other Onyx here that I've been using over the years that I kind of wanted to explain how I ended up getting to the 260. The 235 is one that I started with Duratrax to try it out. It's a single input, it goes up to 4S LiPo. It does 1 to 10 cell NiCad or nickel metal hydride, and it does 50 to 9900 milliamps capacity. So good charger, limited in its scope, a little bit slower because it's only got the one output as far as the charging capabilities. And that's where the 255 kind of came in for me. It does a lot of the things. I'm familiar with the programming from the Onyx 235, but it has dual outputs, so I can charge two batteries at the same time, but it's also a little bit more powerful. It's got a 60 watt output power, and it does 1 to 15 cell nickel metal hydride or NiCads, and most importantly it goes 1 to 6S in the LiPo. It also increases the capacity, so as these battery packs get larger, this one goes up to 60,000 milliamps. And I've really enjoyed using this charger these past couple of years. However, Onyx came out with this 260, and I thought, boy, it's something that I would really like to give it a try. Most importantly, because it's got this touch screen here, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today. So what are the differences between the Onyx 260 and the 255? Well, honestly, not much difference. This is the biggest difference that you're seeing right here is in the screen. The user interface is quite a bit friendlier than what we're traditionally used to in these chargers. Duratrax has taken probably what we're most familiar with in our iPads, our iPhones, our Androids, and they've put that into a screen for the charger. And it's got all the information that you're looking to have. You've got your model memory or your battery memory. You've got actually what batteries are doing, the charge, how they're balancing. They put it in graph form, and then they give you all the data associated with the charge. So let's go ahead and plug in a battery and let's see how it works. So to show you how this Onyx 260 works, what I'm going to do is charge these two batteries for you at the moment. These are currently assigned duty to my Red Cat Racing shredder, and so far I really like them in that particular truck. Included in this Onyx 260 you got two balance boards, so we'll go ahead and plug those in on the sides here. That's for output 2, and then we've got one here for output 1. And these go up to 6S all the way from 2S, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, both sides. And then I've got two of the T connectors or Dean's connectors, depending on what you're comfortable talking about, and these are also included in the kit, so we'll plug those in red to red, black to black on each side. And then you simply plug the battery into there, and then you plug the balance lead into the 2S, and then into the 2S over here. And now we're ready to go. So as you can see, you've got output 1 over here, you've got output 2 over here, and it's separated by these two colors. You've got channel 1 currently highlighted in gray, channel 2 is in yellow, which means it needs to be selected yet, and then it turns to gray. I really do wish the color was a little bit different, because I do find myself believing I'm on the yellow one, because it's a more prevalent color to my eye than the gray. So I really do have to be careful that I am under the right channel for the output for the battery if I'm charging two different types of batteries or milliamps at the same time. In this case I'm in channel 1, which is output 1, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the battery here, and you'll notice that it took me a couple taps to do that. This isn't as sensitive as a smartphone. You do have to give it a deliberate press, which is okay. It's covered with plastic to protect it from the environments that we tend to take these things in at the track. It's dirty a lot of times, but even at home in our workshops, in our garage, or wherever, and this I think does a nice job to protect it. So in this case you can see we're set up for a LiPo. We've got 4.2 volts per cell, set up at 3S, So we do have to change that to 2S, and then we're going to go up to 8,000 milliamps, and you can see that the charge rate goes at 1C. Max amps is 6.0, so it doesn't matter. Once you get past that 6,000 milliamps, this current charge is going to stop at 6. You got 8,000 capacity on charge 1. You go back, you go to charge, gives you a warning here not to leave the charger unattended and always in a fireproof location. Hit OK, starts to count down, and your charge begins. If you want to stop it, you can go ahead and stop it by clicking here. Otherwise you can go back, or you can go to channel 2 and start that battery. So let's go ahead and do that. Go back to your battery here. You can see I'm at LiPo. This one I had charging a 6S, so I'm going to switch that down to 2S. Crank up the milliamps to 8,000, which matches the battery. And hit back, charge, it counts down, and it's going to go ahead and charge this battery. And now you can see that the labeling, you can see that each channel is currently charging. So let's go ahead and look at some of the data that we've got going on here. If we click on that, you can see that I'm on channel 1, LiPo 2S, the percentage of the battery that's charged, the time it's charged, the capacity, current voltage, and the amount of amps that are going through it as well. Click the bottom, you've got input voltage and peak voltage. Come back here, and this starts to graph it out. So if you have any problems with cells, you're going to see it in the graph in particular. But this data is also going to show that too. It also balances, so you can see what's going on with your balancing while it's happening. And you can also switch to a graph of that as well. So you come back here, and you've got your user settings, and then you've got your memory as well. So depending on what your last charge settings were and where you put them, that's going to be the memory. It's really nothing more difficult than that. Okay, so while that's going, let's go ahead and talk about why the 260. Okay, so if you're getting into RC, or if you've been into RC and you're starting to expand your fleet, having this dual output, I think, is something that's pretty valuable when it comes time to charge multiple batteries at the same time. Obviously, you can't have a single output because you're waiting double the amount of time if you've got a vehicle that takes 2 batteries. So I think that's one of the huge advantages. Now over the 255, that's not an advantage. What's the advantage here? It's that touchscreen. If you don't currently have one of these chargers, I wouldn't upgrade from the 255 to the 260 unless I was really interested in that touchscreen, but I would probably buy that 260 over the 255 simply because it does have that touchscreen. Aside from that, the differences between the 255 and 260 are pretty negligible. Now, if you are going to charge a battery that's a little bit bigger and has some different fittings, this is a good example. This is a Max Amps 22.2 volt 6S battery. So the balance boards will handle the 6S, but the XT90, you don't get that connection with this charger. So you do get the standard style connection. You get the connection that we're showing you here. But if you have anything different, you're probably going to have to buy those leads separately. And this is one in particular. In order to do that, you actually have to buy an adapter as well. What I've done is I picked this up, and it's actually from Turnigy, but it does work because I can get the XT90 plug in there, and it does plug right into this charger. So I can use that adapter for this charger as well. So if you are running big packs, these big 6S packs these days, this will handle dual charge of it, no problem at all. I really do find myself using this charger more and more, even over the 255. But I find myself using both at the same time simply because I have multiple cars running multiple battery packs, and it's just the quickest way to get through to get yourself back in the backyard or back on the track racing. So very simple charger, a lot of options out there when it comes to chargers, but I do like the Onyx line, and this touch screen really does make it simple for you to use. So if you're in the market for a charger, I do recommend that maybe this is something you take a look at. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.